Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yesterday we finished Babu Tayammum. Inshallah, today we'll recap quickly. Thereafter, we'll move on to Arabic grammar because there's a few things to take in there. And then we'll go on to Book 1A, Module A, Book 1A, Module 1, inshallah. Starting off, Alam Gheer, what is Tayammum? Tell me about Tayammum, the conditions for Tayammum to be correct.
The tayammum is done when there is no availability of water, and there are conditions, 5 or 6. For example, if one can't find water till 2 kilometers, or like
we mentioned roughly 2 kilometers in the books. You find it's written mil, and mil, according to some of them, is how far the eye can see, and then they said about roughly 2 kilometers. Carry on.
Yes. Then if there's a chance of sickness, for example, if someone has a wound and like doing wudu will cause further harm or increase the sickness, then tayammum can be made. If there's a fear, for example, a fear of life, tayammum can be done. And then, for example, and if it's difficult to get water from the well, freezing cold.
Ask your question. Saeed.
Yeah,
Saeed. Does it snow in Holland?
Sometimes it does during the winter, but not often.
Okay. Just imagine you go to a country and it reaches like -40, -50 degrees. Everything is ice outside. It's freezing cold. Can you make tayammum or you can't?
Yes, then the person is allowed to make tayammum due to the freezing cold.
Ibrahim. Ibrahim.
Yes.
In America, if it goes to -40, -50, whatever it may be, well below freezing, and everything is ice outside, can a person make tayammum or they can't?
It depends, because
Yeah, it depends. Tell me.
So some people over here, they wear shorts when it's below freezing, so for them there's no harm. But for some people, like
let's
Indian
say
immigrants,
let's say hold on. Let's say somebody, if they're going to use water and go outside, they're going to feel cold. What do you tell them here? Do they go to tayammum or they don't?
They do tayammum.
Alam Gheer. I'm still not satisfied with both of those answers.
Sheikh,
Hold on. Hold on. If you've got, when it snows, okay, and sometimes you get feet of snow, meters of snow. Let's say it snowed so hard that the snows come up above the ground about 1.5 meters, 2 meters. Okay, it's freezing cold outside, freezing, and somebody tells you, "Can I make tayammum or I can't?"
Yes, Sheikh, tayammum can be done if it's freezing cold, because
Omar.
Sheikh, if that person has hot water to make wudu, then he'll use hot water. If not,
100%.
then he'll go for tayammum.
yes,
So all these people, hold on. So all these people we're talking about, they're inside the house. If it was so much, they would have probably died by now. That's one. Two is that you ask them a question. You say, okay, even when it's freezing, they have access to hot water. They've got central heating in the house. They've got all that in the house. So it's not the fact that, oh, it might be freezing outside. You look, is he going to be affected by that cold or he's not? Understood?
I was thinking the question was that he's going to make it and then go outside to the masjid. But then you said like
No,
2 meters, so
no.
you can't go.
He can't go out. That's why I said.
Sheikh, I was assuming that there is no water at home. The water is outside.
Yeah, that's why you have. Someone asks you a question and
Me too.
you have to. You've learned the masail in your head. They all here at the back, and then you say, okay, that means cold tayammum. No. Every question I take him back all the way to step 1. Don't start answering from step 5. Step 1. So you ask him the same question. Do you have access to water or you don't? Okay, the water you have access to is cold water. What if he tells you, Alam Gheer, that the water in my house is cold water? What do you tell him? You can make tayammum or you can't?
Yeah, the question would be if they have enough time for the salah and they can warm the water, like they can just boil it on they can maybe like
First
have-
you ask him how cold is cold water.
yes.
People, sometimes you can make wudu in cold water and you wipe with a towel, and especially if you're inside, you're fine after 1 minute. And if it's freezing cold water, you still ask him. Some people manage in freezing cold water. And if not, you find generally in the modern world where most people live, the water comes straight from the tap or the geyser or the heater. There is access to that hot water. Ask you another question. Ibrahim knows the answer. Omar,
Yes, Sheikh.
Omar, if it's been snowing, okay,
Yes.
and it's full of snow outside, 1 meter of snow, 2 meters of snow, and a person tells you, if I make tayammum, I'll be able to go to the masjid. And if I don't make tayammum, I won't be able to. If I make wudu, I'll feel cold when I go outside. Does he go to the masjid or he doesn't?
It doesn't. Because if there is a problem with him getting ill, then he drops that option. And if he can pray at home with no harm, then he'll pray at home.
So as Ibrahim said, for number 1, if there's 2 meters of snow, there's no way he's coming out of the house. Okay, he's unable to go. But let's say a person tells you that if I make wudu, you walk him through the same process again. And generally people will tell you, because they know there's a rukhsa when it comes to salah, ask him the same question. If you needed to go to work, what do? You still catch a shower in the morning, you're still able to go. So if you're able to, and you're able to dry yourself, and you're able to wear that which will keep you warm, then you go to the masjid. And if you're unable to, then you read salah at home, you'll make wudu. And that's, we also go back to, is salah in congregation compulsory or not? Yes?
So the reason would be because the person has a chance that he might get ill. He might
No,
get
no,
sick.
there's different types of fear. So if you told me a young man, and let's say in your community, everybody, whether it's snowing or not, when it's snowing, they still all walk out, they go out to eat, they go shopping, they walk, etc. We would tell him go to the masjid also, because that is the norm. That's what you would do. If he's very ill, or let's say an old person who it's not from their habit to go out, and whether they go shopping or they go anywhere else, they most probably will fall ill here. He doesn't have to go. Understood?
Understood, Sheikh.
Right.
Sheikh, one question. Sheikh, when the condition is so hot, like very cold temperature outside, then generally one can also pray at home.
Yes, and that I told you goes back to, is salah in congregation compulsory or not? And you take that masala later on, inshallah. Ibrahim,
Yes.
think before you answer. In Ramadan, a woman, let's say Fajr starts at 5 o'clock, okay? Fajr starts at 5 o'clock. A woman becomes clean 5 minutes before that, 4:55, okay? does she make tayammum or does she make wudu, number one? And number two, if she doesn't, because bearing in mind it's 4:55 and it's going to be 5 o'clock, okay, within 5 minutes, most probably she's not going to be able to shower. My first question, is her fast valid or it's not valid if she wants to fast on that day?
So the Fajr ends at 5 o'clock?
1 minute, 1 minute
Okay.
before 1 minute before Fajr starts, meaning the time of suhoor is finishing. There's 1 more minute left and she becomes clean. She's got no time to make ghusl or wudu or anything else. Do you tell her, in order for your fast to be correct, make tayammum in this 1 minute? Or do you tell her to go for a shower and the time of Fajr would have started? Or do you tell her to make wudu? What do you tell her?
I'm not sure about this. I'm not too
Alam ghair.
versed, but I think
Yeah, alam ghair.
Sheikh, it's not a condition to do tayammum, yeah, or wudu or ghusl before
Or
fasting.
ghusl. Okay. So for fasting, woman or a man, they don't have to be meaning even if they're in a state of janaba, it's okay to start the fast like that. Understand? So you
Yeah,
don't
but
have to be you don't
only
have to
in
be
regards
clean
to
in order
fasting.
to start your fast. What's that?
Only in regards to fasting, that is.
Yeah, in regards to fasting, person
Yeah.
doesn't have to be clean. Ahsant. Okay. The same question. The sun is going to rise at 6 o'clock. Woman's fast is started, okay? At, let's say 10 to 6, 10 minutes left for 6 o'clock. She doesn't have any water. She wants to read Fajr. Is it okay if she makes tayammum or not? Bearing in mind that there's no water nearby, there's nobody coming with water, etc. Omar.
Yes, she can make tayammum because the making tayammum is okay for Hadas Asgar and Akbar both. She can make
Okay,
tayammum
if the sun rises at 6 o'clock and her husband tells her that I'm coming at 6:30 with water, does she wait and read qada or does she make tayammum and read?
No, she'll make tayammum. Because making qada is the same. Intentionally making qada is the same.
While there's
So,
time. Okay. If, let's say, she's missed Fajr, okay? The time is 6:15. When she wakes up, it's 6:15, Fajr is missed. Does she make tayammum in order to read qada? Or does she wait for her husband who is coming at 7 o'clock with water?
she'll wait
Huh?
for her husband. She'll wait for her husband because anyway the salah is already been qada. In fact, the second opinion in my mind is as Rasulullah said, make salah as soon as you can. So
Well,
here the condition is there.
This is
it's
qada.
qada. It's qada, and she's been promised water. So here we'll tell her, you wait till 7 o'clock. It's only the 45 minutes. Then you make your ghusl, in fact, and then you read your salah. I think with that we've taken tayammum. Any questions? Any questions? Ibrahim,
and
is the imam, let's say you go for Salatul Janaza, is the imam allowed to lead the whole congregation with tayammum or not?
I say first you'd ask the imam. First you'd ask the people if they know of water available. So if they say yes, then the imam makes wudu.
No water available. Let's say no water available. Nothing.
Oh.
7
Then-
people. Somebody died. The 7 people reading Salat as Janaza. The 6 have made wudu with water at their houses or wherever they may have been. The 7th was the Imam, the only one who knows how to lead Salatul Janazah, and he's come with tayammum because he had no water.
Then, yeah, he can lead.
Alam Ghair?
I think, Sheikh, he can lead the salah.
Think what?
He can lead the salah.
Again, there's 2 opinions in the Hanafi madhab. One saying he can and one saying he can't. Okay? All right. Well done. Then I think from this we move on. Yeah.
Anyone from the ma'mum, the 6 people behind, they can also lead the salah because the imam is having tawakkul, not them. They are having wudu, so they can lead the salah if they know.
They don't know how to read. And even if they want to read and he's saying no, then there's 2 opinions in the madhab. Okay?
Okay.
Right. After that comes Masah al-Khuffayn. But inshallah, we'll take that on Thursday. Today I want to carry on with Nahu. I'm going to ask you. I told you that in Arabic, whenever you see a word, it's either ism or fi'l or harf. A noun, a verb, or whatever is not a noun and a verb is called a harf. Thereafter, I told you when speaking about i'rab, i'rab is one of 4 things. What are these 4 things? Alam Ghair, name one.
Sheikh is marfu.
Yeah, next one, Omar.
Mansub,
Next one, Ibrahim.
Majroor.
Last one, Saeed.
Majis.
Is that? Majzoom.
Majid. Majizum.
Majzoom. Right. Marfu.
Majizum.
We
Okay.
said who's the main character here? Marfu is who? Alam Ghair.
Dhamma.
Dhamma. And we said that when you see a word that has a dhamma, okay, we look at the type of word it is to consider whether it's marfu or not. So the first is, I told you, number one, ism mufrad. Ism mufrad means a noun that is singular, so not plural, not dual. Talking about a noun that is singular. If you see a dhamma, then that ism is marfu'. What shows it's marfu'? The fact that it has a dhamma. So for example, Muhammadun. What's the Arab of Muhammadun, Umar?
that's the علامة الرفع الضمة.
مرفوع وعلامة رفعه
مرفوع
الضمة. زيد سعيد. سعيد. What's the Arab of سعيد?
Dhamma.
I'rab
marfu'.
it's marfu'. I'rab meaning what team does it play for? Marfu'. What shows us that it's part of the team? Yeah. Every soccer team has its jersey. So this one's jersey is showing you it has a dhamma at the end. So it's marfu'. Why is it? Because an ism. Right. The second one that will also have a dhamma, they say, is what's called jam' at-taksir. Okay. The word jam', jim, mim, and ain, means plural. Okay. Now there's different types of plural. Okay. Taksir, from kasara, to break. So jam' taksir means this word was initially singular, and in order to get it to plural, we had to break its original form. So I'll give you an example. Rajulun. Rajulun means a man. What's the form? What's it made of? Ra, Jim, and Lam. Okay? Ra, Jim, and Lam. That is the structure. I want to give you another example also. The word Muslimun. Okay? Mim, Sin, Lam, and Mim. What's the plural of Muslimun? It's Muslimuna. You just add a waw and a nun. Can you see for Muslimuna, in its singular form, it has these letters, Mim, Sin, Lam, and Mim. And to get to plural, we didn't break any of these letters. We never separate or add or subtract. We just added a waw and a nun. This is called jam', plural, mudhakkar, because the word is masculine. Salim. Salim is from safety, to be intact. So this plural is considered to be intact. We're not talking about it right now. It will come, but I'm mentioning it to you so you understand the difference. As for rajulun, that is plural, it's rijalun. Ra, jim, alif, and lam. Did we break the original structure, even if it was a little bit? Yes, we did. How did we break it? Ra is the same as ra. Jim is the same as jim. However, plural, we added an alif. Can you see? So we never say rajuluna. We said rijalun. So this here broke the pattern. Is it plural? Is this plural? They're both plural. However, this one is called jam' because masculine mudhakkar salim, and this is called jam' taksir. Plural. Taksir means from its original form, it was broken. We had to break the original pattern. So anything that's jam' taksir, if it has a dhamma, it will be considered marfu', and what will show us it's marfu' is it will have a dhamma. Okay, so for example, rijalun is marfu'. What's the alama? Wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma. What type of word is it? Jam' taksir. Understand? Give you another example. Qalamun. Okay. Word qalamun, which means the pen. Qaf, lam, and mim. What's the plural? Plural is aqlamun. Okay. Aqlamun. Here it starts with a qaf, here it starts with an alif. Immediately we know we've broken the singular form. Sorry. The fact that we've broken the singular form, it becomes jam' taksir. If it's marfu', what will it have to show it's marfu'? It will have a dhamma. Aqlamun. Understand? Understand?
Yes, I only
Yes, sir.
do not understand why the in one word it changes at the begin, like aklamun, and with rijalun in the midst, and with and the other one at the end.
So that's just how it is. You learn the patterns. That's just how
Yeah.
it is. It's like, why do you say in English, for example, I want, he wanted, she wanted, etc., etc., etc. And when you learn French, you find there's also masculine and feminine. Tell them, why does it change? They'll tell you that's how we learned it. To make it easier, to give you a few more rules. But the more you add to your vocabulary, the more you read, the more you understand, you'll be able to pick up these patterns. You'll be able to pick up these patterns. So don't worry about where it's changing for now.
Okay.
All you have to know, has it changed or it hasn't changed? Front, middle, end, you don't worry. All you see, changed or not changed? Changed, jam' taksir. How will it be marfu'? Will have a dhamma. That's all you need to know. More than that, you don't.
Understood.
Okay? So
If,
far?
how will you understand that the word is broken plural or the singular? Because both ends with the dhamma.
Because here we took the number one yesterday, or last week, ismul mufrad. So any word that is singular, okay? So muslimun, qalamun, masjidun is marfu'. What shows us it's marfu'? That it has a dhamma. So we've already taken this first one to say anything singular. Then they say anything plural, however, its taksir, its original form has been broken. Muslimu, aqlamun, رجال, it has a dhamma, it's marfu'. Understood?
Yes.
Then there's still 3 and 4 left. Inshallah, we'll take them Thursday and Friday. Then you build, and that will all be marfu' with its original form with a dhamma. Then they'll tell you after that things which can be marfu' with a different sign. For example, they won't have a dhamma, it will come with a waw. What is that thing? And then they'll tell you another one, third one, then they'll tell you a fourth one. Then they move on to mansoob, then they move on to majroor, then they move on to majzoom, etc. Understood?
Yeah. One is Jam Taksir. What is the other one?
Jam', either it will be masculine or feminine. Mudhakkar, masculine. Mu'annath, feminine. Jam', mudhakkar. And to show it's intact, salim. Sin, alif, lam, and mim. Salim. Understood?
Yes. Sir.
Don't worry about that now. For now, all I want you to understand what is Jam' taksir. It has a dhamma, it's marfu'.
Sheikh, when we have Ismul Mufrid, Muslimun, Ismul
Mufrad.
Mufrad, Muslimun. So,
Right.
Araf
Muslimun
marfu,
is-
alamatu raf'ihi dhamma. But when we have Muslimuna,
We haven't yet taken it.
okay.
Muslimuna, is it Jam' taksir or it's not?
It's Jam' Taktir.
It's not. It's not. I told you. Look here. Muslimun. Did you break the original form? Here it's got a meme. And singular, it also got a meme. Here it's got a sin. Singular also got a sin. Lam, it's got a lam. You didn't break its original form. You added to it. I'll give you an example here. Look here. If you've got a building, okay? If you've got, let's say this is a one-story building, okay?
Yes, Sheikh, I got it here.
Understood? Somebody adds to the building a second floor, okay? You just build on the top. Here you haven't broken anything to do here, okay? You haven't broken. It's just adding. Now, if you have a building and you've got one first floor, then somebody says, hold on a second, I don't like this window here. Let me break it. And I don't like this door here. Let me break it. And then they add the next floor. Is there a difference between that and this? There's a difference. First is he never break anything. He just built on the top. Second is he broke and built, or he broke and subtracted, etc. Understood? Understood or didn't understand?
Yes, Sheikh. And Sheikh, do we have to also, like when we say marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma, then we have to also mention that Ismul Mufrad.
It's better. If you learn it now like that, it's 100% better. Because then you know the Arab, you know the sign of the Arab, and you know why it has that sign. Why does it have the sign? Because Ism al-Mufrad. All Ism al-Mufrad that's marfu will have a dhamma. Okay? Let's go. The other students are not here. I don't really want to ask you module 1. Let me ask you on Thursday, inshallah. Ibrahim?
So i'rab relates to the vowels, while jam'a, takthir relates to consonants.
Yes, it relates to the whole word itself and how you make it. That comes in sarf. How the different mizan, the different weights of the word. For example, daraba, then do you say yadribu, adribu, yadhabu? How do you make that ya and dhal and ha and ba and etc.? What's it similar to? Yaf'alu. Okay, that's all in sarf. Here we talk about nahu. Here we talk about grammar. Grammar is only to do with what's on the end letter of these words here. We worried about here. Is it fatha, dhamma, kasra, sukun, or one of the deputies? That's all. Okay. is very, very few people master Nahu. It's important, very important, so you can read correctly. Bismillah, read here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Carrying on with Seerah of the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, says, he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not hesitate to state his love for his wife. Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said about Khadija radiallahu anha, her love had been nurtured in my heart by Allah Himself. An-Nawawi rahimahullah said this indicates that her love is a virtue of Khadija which her love had been nurtured in my heart by Allah Himself. It says this indicates that her love is a virtue of Khadija. It's not supposed to be his. Ibrahim?
Yes.
Is it not supposed to be his here?
Yeah. This indicates
That his love is a virtue of Khadija which Allah granted him. Huh? Or virtue of Khadija which Allah granted her. It could also mean the virtue of Khadija radiallahu anha. The love of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam for Aisha radiallahu anha was more obvious and well known. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not love a woman like he loved her. She was the only one whom he married as a virgin. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not hide his love for her. Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anhu asked the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who amongst the people is dearest to you? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said Aisha. He then said, who amongst the men? He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, her father. Contrary to the prophetic guidance, some men stay years without expressing love to the wife, while others may even consider this unbefitting and not manly. Expressing one's love to the wife is one of the strongest means to improve marital relations and strengthen marital relations and maintain a happy marital life. A wife likes her husband to make her feel loved and to express this verbally, and to do so frequently. Unfortunately, some women resort to illicit relations because they find someone whom they could talk to and who would say sweet words that she may have never heard from her husband. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam would kiss his wife before leaving the house. Urwa reported on the authority of his maternal aunt Aisha radiallahu anha that she said the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to kiss some of his wives and then leave for the congregational prayer without performing ablution, meaning wudu. I said, it is no one else but you whom he used to kiss, so she laughed. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam would even kiss his wives while fasting. Aisha radiallahu anha said, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam would kiss and embrace his wives while he was fasting, for he had the most control of all of you over his desires. Omar, this hadith is also evidence for who? The Messenger ﷺ used to kiss his wives before he went to Salah. Those who say is correct is evidence for them in what?
For fasting married people.
No, not only fasting.
No, for the people who thinks that wudu breaks when you
Yes.
kiss your spouse.
So this hadith, they used to say that if wudu broke by touching a woman, merely touching a woman, then the Messenger ﷺ would have made wudu. And they also say that some people say if you touch a woman with desire, your wudu breaks. And here they tell you that no, if he kissed her, he probably also had that desire. It was out of love. Hence, you can't say that wudu broke also. Hence the ayah, أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ is referring to intercourse itself. Rahim?
It's all about the intention, right? Yeah.
Pardon?
It's all about the intention.
No. They will say for wudu, if a person had intercourse with his wife, then his wudu breaks. If he touched his wife,
Yeah,
he
sure.
hugged his wife, he
Yeah.
kissed his wife, whatever he thought is besides the point, his wudu remains.
Sheikh, is it the opinion of all? Is it the opinion of
No.
majority? Mazhab?
No, I wouldn't say majority. It's quite a fair split in that. And they have differing opinion. They have detail amongst themselves. See,
I think Sheikh, according to Hanafi Madhab, it doesn't break.
doesn't break.
But there's an
Right.
exception if the madhi comes out, then you have to do the
No,
right.
we're not talking about that. No, we're not talking about that. Ibrahim, you can read. Read and ask your question afterwards.
Okay. Barbara Anderson, who worked in a bank in New York, decided to move to Phoenix, Arizona because of the health of her son. Using the principles she had learned in our course, she wrote the following letter to 12 banks in Phoenix. Dear Sir, my 10 years of banking experience should be of interest to a rapidly growing bank like yours. In various capacities in bank operation with Bankers Trust Company in New York, leading to my present assignment. As branch manager, I've acquired the skills in all phases of banking, including depositor relations, credits, loans, and administration. I will be relocating to Phoenix in May, and I am sure I can contribute to your growth and profits. I will be in Phoenix the week of April 3rd. I will appreciate the opportunity to show you how I can help your bank and meet its goals. Sincerely, Barbara L. Anderson. Do you think Mrs. Anderson received any response from the letter? 11 of the 12 banks invited her to be interviewed, and she had a choice of which bank's offers to accept. Why? Mrs. Anderson did not state what she wanted, but she wrote in the letters how she could help with them and focus on their wants, not on her own. Thousands of salespersons are pounding the pavements today, tired and discouraged and underpaid. Why? Because they're always thinking of only what they want. They don't realize that neither you nor I want to buy anything. If we did, we would go out and buy. But both of us are eternally interested in solving our problems. And if salespeople can show us how the service of or merchandise will help us solve our problems, they won't need to sell us. We'll buy. And customers like to feel like they are buying, not being sold. Yet many salespeople spend a life in selling without seeing the things from their customer's angle. For example, for many years I lived in Forest Hills, a little community of private homes in the center of Greater New York. It's a big community now, by the way. One day, as I was rushing to the station, I chanced to meet a real estate operator who had bought and sold property in that area for many years. He knew Forest Hills well, so I hurried to ask him whether or not my stucco house was built with metal lath or hollow tile. He said he didn't know and told me what I already knew, that I could find out by calling the Forest Hills Garden Association. The following morning, I received a letter from him. Did he give me the information I wanted? He could have gotten in 60 seconds by telephone call. He didn't. He told me again that I could get it by telephoning, and then asked me to let him handle my insurance. He was not interested in helping me. He was interested in only helping himself. J.
Yeah,
Howard
stop.
Lucas.
Stop. I read this.